Michael, I'm now going to ask you a number of questions that I've been affectionately referring to as my rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Michael, when did you first know that you wanted to be a lawyer?
Probably when I was about 3, and it was because I was told I was supposed to be a lawyer. But I came to terms with the fact I was going to be a lawyer probably senior year in college.
Very similar story for me. Okay. Do you have a favorite attorney to litigate against?
Favorite attorney to litigate against? Dan Washaw, Eric Gibbs, on the plaintiffs' class action side for sure, are probably 2 of my more favorite attorneys.
Great guys. In your opinion, what's been the biggest change to the class action landscape over, let's say, the last 5 years?
I hate to jump on the bandwagon, but probably, the enforceability of class action, arbitration waivers, and I would say the implementation of Dukes, and it's been a flowing process, as opposed to kind of the sudden impact I think people are initially thought it was going to be. So the courts and counsel trying to find their way in the post-Dukes world as to how robust is a robust analysis of the class action process.
What's your favorite legal movie?
I think probably From the Hip. I think Judd Hirsch was in that.
I don't even know that one. What's your favorite non-legal movie?
Probably The Natural.
Is there a particular book that you've gifted more than other books in your career?
I have not gifted books traditionally in my career. I am, truth be known, a Lord of the Rings junkie. I've probably read it like 10 times, so that's the most enjoyable book. The book that's probably had the most impact on me is The Source by Robert Michener. But if I'm going to gift something, it's probably trying to get them to do something they don't want to do, usually in the form of a triathlon or marathon.
What was your least favorite law school class?
Property.
Yeah, me too. It was brutal. That and tax, I think. What do you think is the biggest sort of growth area in class action law? And I suppose I'm asking that in kind of from the plaintiff's perspective almost. What kind of cases are you seeing more and more of?
I think the growth area, we actually haven't seen it happen yet, but just understanding economics and where we are in terms of the population, the aging of the population, I suspect we're going to see an influx of cases that focus on marketing and services provided to an older demographic. As the baby boomers age up, we're probably going to see more and more cases that focus on marketing to that demographic.
That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Which is a worse case for the plaintiffs, Carrera, Dukes, or Concepcion?
Worst case for the plaintiffs. Probably on a overall spectrum, I'd say Dukes, because it applies to every case. Concepcion, there's still going to be certain types of relationships where the arbitration clauses come up. And Carrera, we've already seen the courts pulling back on that one. So I'd say overall, it's Dukes because it puts a far more onerous requirement on every class action to satisfy the robust analysis.
In your opinion, what's the most worthy legal nonprofit?
I don't know how you make a choice between Betsetic or Public Counsel or any of those types of organizations. I mean, you need them all, and they're all very worthy, and they're all somewhat similar in terms of their focus and their breadth and their scope. So anything that fits into that category, I would say, is a very worthy nonprofit.
What's the most beautiful courthouse in the United States?
I don't know that I've been to enough to.
Well, what's your favorite?
My favorite courthouse is probably the Richmond, Virginia courthouse. It kind of has that air of what a courthouse was back in the day.
Right. Would you advise the next generation, your kids, for instance, to go to law school to become lawyers?
Qualified answer, the answer is yes, again, if it's what they love to do. The people who are successful in this profession, if you ask every one of them, at the end of the day, they love what they do. So if you're motivated by that, it's a great, great career, great profession. If you're not, it's an extremely burdensome career or profession.
And the last question I'm going to ask is, if you had a piece of advice that you could impart on a young lawyer today, what would that be?
It would be two things. One is love what you do, because what we do is pretty amazing. And don't let the volume detract from the significance of that. The second thing I would say to a young attorney is, to coin the cliche, life integration is as important as anything else that you do. And I'm not saying life balance. What I'm saying is do something for yourself outside of the law, because that's what's going to make you different to those inside the law. At the end of the day, my credentials as a lawyer, even though I do class actions, what have you, that doesn't make me different. What probably makes me different is the fact that on my free time I go do Ironman and spend most of my time swimming, biking, running. That's what clients want to talk about. They don't necessarily want to talk about the things that everybody else does.